So I'm going to talk just a little bit about my journey and who I am. My name is Kata Widdish, and I'm a Rosen practitioner, a Yuen practitioner, a family constellations facilitator, and a conscious dance facilitator. All of these modalities are things that I discovered in my own journey towards healing, and they are all the things that I trust the most, that have been the most helpful for me in learning and growing. I grew up scared of what it is to be in this moment. It was very scary to me to be alone, to feel my own thoughts, to wonder, who am I in this second? What is this? What is this thought that's thinking? Who is this that's thinking? What is this? Is there a me? And I spent a lot of my adolescent life really questioning. But then as I got older, I got very busy. I was, running around in the film industry, creating a life for myself, and very active. And then I got sick. I had what later turned out to be severe mercury toxicity, and it made me not only physically nearly unable to function, but it also made me mentally nearly unable to function. I had to stop working because it was dangerous for me to be a first AD when I couldn't think straight, and I had to start journeying in and figuring out what was wrong with me. At the same time I was doing medical research, trying to figure out what was going on, I was also really aware that our emotional makeup affects our physical health. And so I started to investigate what was it in me that made me hold on to toxins. And I started also needing support, because there's nothing more terrifying than having your mind no longer work properly. So I stumbled onto Rosen Method, and I went and I started having sessions, and I found it to be the most beautiful, profound, supportive way of feeling into myself. And slowly what happened was my fear levels shifted. I didn't live anymore afraid all the time. And the work was so profound that I thought, I want as much of this as I can, so I went to study it, not to study it, but for self growth, in order to nurture myself. I went up to Berkeley and I began to study with Marianne Rosen, having no intention of being a practitioner. I was just doing it because it felt so good. But bit by bit, it was pretty amazing to do, because you cannot be present with another person who's on the table if you're not present with yourself. So the practice of learning how to be a Rosen practitioner is the practice of growing yourself. And then one day somebody looked at me and said, "Well, you're an intern now." And I said, "What? Why? Me? I can't do this." And they said, "Yes, you can. You're doing it already." And so I just kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And what I discovered is that the more that I did it, the more I grew, the deeper I became. It's contagious. Being present in this moment is contagious. If you can do it with yourself, you can help others do it. I'm really grateful to Marianne Rosen. I'm grateful that I got to study with her, that my training was almost entirely with her. And I'm really grateful for this work that is the fundament of everything I do, which is entirely about love as presence. It's about what it is to get out of the way of all the stories and all the judgment and all the resistance and all the hanging on, and just be here with each other. Just feel each other. Be present with ourselves and be present with each other. There's nothing more delicious for me than being a Rosen practitioner and doing family constellations and leading dance and doing Yuen. These practices allow me to participate in the unfolding and flowering of other human beings, and that is one of the most delightful, delicious, beautiful things that we can do in life. I'm grateful to my clients for their trust, for their willingness to go on these deep journeys with me, and I am so glad that I get to do this on a regular basis.